What's up, YouTube? First and foremost, shout out to Alien Army. Raise up, stand up, let's drop some comments and run those likes up. Put those alien faces, do those alien emojis, spaceships, motherships, all that good stuff. If you're not a part of the Alien Army, that's what I call my subscribers. People that are basically rocking with me, not even basically, they're rocking with me tough. I ask if you want to be a part of that. It's very easy. All you gotta do is subscribe and drop down comments and hit the like button and rock with me on it. I have a whole lot of videos, so I ask that, this is the first time you're watching one of my videos. If you like this one, watch my other ones and help me out with my watch time. About 300 more hours, and then I can actually monetize YouTube. That's what it's looking like. So rock on with that. It really does, like I just mentioned, does help out the algorithm. Just to give you an idea of how it helps, is every 10 likes and every 10 comments, YouTube will show my video to 100 new people. However, that does double at the 100 mark. So at 100 likes and 100 comments, instead of it sending out to 1,000 people, it actually doubles, and my video will go out to 2,000 people. Now, to a lot of big channels, what I don't understand is people are dropping comments on channels that have, let's say, for example, millions of viewers and millions of comments. Those people are too big that they don't even answer any of their stuff. Don't waste your comments and likes. I mean, throwing a like on something you watch so that, you can be recommended that kind of same content. I understand that completely. But putting down a message of, saying, well wishes or a question of some sort, to me, that me being somebody who watches YouTube, that sucks, man. If I take the time to write a comment to somebody or a question or whatever, I'd like for that to be answered or acknowledged. And because I'm like that, I answer 99.9% of my comments. I'm a small channel, so I'm able to do that. But even when I become a bigger channel, I will develop a system. I already have an idea of how I can go ahead and do that, so that any question, comment, concern, or anything like that, or statement, you're going to get a response from me, and that's the least that I can do. You know what I'm saying? So I ask that you rock with me and roll like that. I'm gonna jump into today's video. Homeless. So you guys, this is the first time you watch one of my videos. I am homeless. I do live in my car. I've been living in my car for quite some time. I do have a video, homeless full story, and it explains exactly how, why, when, and all that stuff. It's very interesting. However, it's homeless. Am I my own worst enemy? And this is actually inspired by two comments that I got yesterday in yesterday's video. So yesterday's video, maybe after this one, if you've never seen it before, go ahead and watch my the content. Is I had a comment, and both people have left comments before. So do I think this is a troll comment or something along those lines, or a negative comment? Not at all. I'm not going after people who said this, but it got me thinking, and I thought, what? While I'm thinking about all this, why not make a video about it? It inspired me. So thank you for putting that comment down, and I do want to talk about it. So am I my own worst enemy? So yesterday's video, just a quick synopsis, was I believe that that statement, and somebody's co-signing, saying that they felt the same way, was about me talking about the updates of me trying to get back into the trucking world. Right? I am a trucker. I haven't driven a truck in over a year, and basically I called a mega carrier yesterday. Yesterday I talked about it. I called a mega carrier, and I talked about what the recruiting process was going to look like. I filled out a short form application, and I had an actual recruiter that was assigned to me, and they gave me a call about 2 hours after me filling out that part. Right? When they called me, I said that I haven't driven in a little bit over a year, and that I would need a refresher course or something along those lines. The recruiter said there was nobody in the Midwest. I'm in the Midwest. I'm not originally from here, but I've lived out here for the last few years. So in the Midwest, they said that there is nobody. I volunteered. Okay, if you don't have anybody who can do a refresh course, how about California? How about New York? How about Michigan? How about Iowa? How about anywhere in the United States? I'll go to that where that terminal is. And if you still don't have somebody like that, what about me just jumping in a truck somebody who's a yard dog, a hostler, somebody, let me roll. I need to get the feel back from the left and right hand turns. I can still back, I can still drive forward. I know how to check my mirrors. For me to comfortably, be dispatched and do something, I need to fill the truck, and I need to fill the road a little bit, and I just need to do some left and right hand turns. Nothing crazy. However, let's say, for example, they said, our refresher course is a month long. Okay, I hate being on the truck with other people. I'll be honest with you, I don't like it. If I knew the person, then that'd be different, but being on there with a total stranger, no, I don't like it. However, I know that it's the responsible thing to do, right? me knowing it's a responsible thing, and me knowing that I have a duty to the general public, because I am considered a professional truck driver. Even right now in my own car, I have rules that are set against me because I have been trained a certain way, and I have that kind of responsibility. Some of the stuff includes that, let's say for example, I'm driving over 15 miles an hour in my vehicle, so I'm speeding over 15 on here. That just doesn't go on my private license. That goes on my truck driving thing as well, right? Another thing as well is I don't drink or do drugs or anything like that. However, if I was to drink, my alcohol level is half of whatever the normal person is. So normally it's 0.08, if I remember correctly. Mine would be 0.04. So I am only allowed, because I'm a professional truck driver and I have seen the videos and I have gone through classes of exactly what happens. And I've always been against drinking and driving, especially like in the last, probably since Uber came out. I mean, you should have never done it to begin with, but with Uber and the accessibility and the responsibility of designated drivers and things like that, you really should never go out there. If you want to, like, I'm gonna be flat out honest, if you want to do something that damages your life and stuff like that, hey, far be it from me to tell you what to do and what not to do. I would hope that you don't. However, why are you going to put the general public? I have a very high standard when it comes to the general public. My grandfather was killed. I never even met him. Was killed by a drunk driver. My mom was in the car, and so was my grandmother at that time. And my grandfather, I never even met him. I love my grandmother very much, by the way. I would have loved to meet her, her husband. I would have loved to have a grandfather. I would have, somebody took that, and it was a drunk driver, and his mistakes had ruined a very big piece, and who knew what the opportunities were. And I've had friends that actually died from drunk drivers as well, and that's the unfortunate part. I don't really care that if you have a drinking problem and stuff like that. If somebody's got that issue, then don't let your issues hurt other people. That's where I draw the line, kind of. And that's at least my thought process, or the best way I can explain it on the YouTube platform. But I do want to jump into this content. Am I my own worst enemy? Well, I guess jumping ahead a little bit, let me back up a little bit and talk. So they didn't. In short, the recruiter from the mega carrier said that the best that they could do is put my name on a list. So I had gotten a comment saying that I'm too picky. I didn't think that was being too picky. That's being responsible. I did say that the recruiter asked me, told me with my experience, because I have a couple of years of valid where they could validate my driving experience. So it's not like I had my license for 4 years and only drove 1 month. No, I got a couple of years of experience, and they can all be verified, right? With mega carriers and with a smaller company as well, right? And I went through an accredited school, so that's how that all works out. He had said to me, if I'm willing, if I could pass a road test, they'll throw me in my own truck and I don't need a refresher. He said that, he's like, I understand your concern for this, and I would advocate that you do have a refresher, since you find it important, and I don't think you're asking for too much. I think that you're being responsible. He's like, but however, with your experience and whatnot, you're only required with our company policies is to do a road test. If you pass the road test, you'll get the truck. So that's where I think, like, hey, I do have a choice. I could go ahead and pass this road test. And when the guy asked me, yeah, I could pass the road test. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not going to lie to myself. Can I pass the road test? Absolutely. I want to talk about what I've done several road tests. I want to talk about what that general thing is, and then I'm going to get into the content as well. So I don't know for sure if that's where the comments came from of, I am my own worst enemy. I want to have a refresher course, but yet I could stop being homeless and being in my car by just doing this road test and then driving. In my experience, and I've done several road tests, each company, it's mandatory that you do a road test, right? If it's a driver, okay, so somebody who actually has an active CDL, and this has happened before. It was somebody who was doing local driving around that area, and when we were in orientation, that dude pulls up and he's like, okay, come talk to me. They always want to know, where's your level of experience of that? How long have you been driving for? Why they want to know that is because they're getting in the truck and you're about to drive, and they're not they're not very comfortable. Like they don't know you. You know, they want to know, can you drive this thing or not, right? The way that I am and the way that I carry myself, like I guess you could say my code of conduct, you know, it really, I don't know if it translates very well on YouTube, you know, videoing. I'm a very personable person. I'm somebody who does talk, especially in those settings. I know that there's a lot of politics that go into trucking. It's, you know, does somebody like you? I don't kiss anybody's ass or anything like that, but, you know, a driver pulling up, I'm going to put that driver very much at ease. Yeah, and the way I'm going to do this is, dude, I've been driving for a few years, man. I did it, you know, I did this, I did that. Whatever you throw at me, I'm going to be cool with it. I just ask that you don't try to do any trickery stuff. And what I mean by trickery stuff is well, I won't get into that. Just, you know, let me know what let me know what you want me to do and consider it done. Some of those tests have been as easy as, and this was at a mega carrier, I had somebody stand outside, and I mean, they saw me drive forward. I went ahead and did a local delivery and then came back, and he's like, okay, I want to see you back up, but what I want you to do is I want you to do a 90-degree back. I'm going to be standing right here on the edge of the backing spot, and I had trailers all around. He's like, I'm gonna stand right here and I'm not gonna get out of the way. So if you hit me, you hit me. Of course, I don't think that person's gonna stand there, but I'm good, you know. He's like, I'm gonna stand here right now. He's like, you can pull up as many times as you want, and you got about 15 minutes to back it in. He's like, I'm gonna stand right here. If you can get it in the hole, if you can go ahead and back this up. He's like, I'm gonna go inside the office right now and tell him that you're good, and we're gonna give you the keys to a truck. He stood right there, and at 90, and I don't want to toot my own horn. I'm a very humble person. I did it in one go. I didn't have to pull forward or anything like that. I know what I'm doing, and I had very good experience, and I went ahead and did that. Backed in there, and he's like, damn. He's like, you didn't even pull up forward. He's like, I only know about 2 people that have done that, and I'm one of them. And that's what the guy says. Walks in there, gives me the keys. Can I, you know, are there road tests that are that easy and stuff like that? Absolutely. I've had ones where the person was like, hey, listen, we're just gonna make a couple left and right-hand turns, and I want to see you jump on the highway, then I want to see you back. It's something like, literally could be as little as 5-6 minutes. A road test like that is very easy. Let me tell you this, getting your CDL, your Class A license, is harder than a road test. The road test is literally, they want to know, can you maneuver your trailer? They want to know, can you drive forward? They want to know, are you going to be speeding? Are you going to do any hard stops, right? Now, just because I passed the road test, they're comfortable with giving me the keys, and then of course they're comfortable with dispatching me somewhere, right? That's where the problem goes, right? The problem with is that me not driving for over a year, I want the feel of the truck. I want to you know, I just need a little bit of time, you know, let things come back to me. There's a lot of stuff that I won't lose no matter what. I will always know how to manipulate the back of the trailer and get it into the hole. I know how to utilize very small spaces and do tight backing maneuvers. I have the confidence of there could be a very tight backing spot and trailers on both sides. I'm very confident that if I went ahead and had to do a blind side, that I can get it in there, and I don't even have to do a technical blind side. A blind side is anything on my passenger side. So instead of doing a 45 going like this, there's the back of my trailer, driver's side right here, and then backing it in like that, going the opposite direction, right? Basically having the passenger door closest to where I'm going to go ahead and back it into, right? I am confident and I have the skills. This is not me tooting my horn. Don't think that I'm bragging. There's lots of drivers that could do this. Instead of doing a traditional, you know, all the way blindside, I know how to navigate a certain technique where it starts off like a blindside, and then I pull forward and then I back it all the way in there. I can even do it in very tight spots where there's not much room to pull forward. I was taught that when I had a trainer. I had a great trainer over 20 years, and the trainer was over 20 years that he'd been doing this, you know, driving trucks, and he'd been training people for about 3 years at that particular time. It's probably been, you know, I don't know. I'll have to look at everything, but he's a great dude. Old school, taught me how to follow my wheels, taught me everything. You know what I mean? And that was a great experience, and I loved it. And I'm still really good friends with the guy. I love the guy. You know, we talk, you know, often. So basically, a road test is nothing. It's nothing to me. I could do it. I could do it with one eye and only one hand or one finger. You know. me going ahead and actually doing a delivery, I want the feel of the truck. I want to know, I want to, calculate, okay, with this Freightliner, I'm used to Freightliners, with this Freightliner, okay, let's remember what I looked for when I went ahead and made this left. Okay, when I pull into fuel island, let me do this. I don't need to be extremely nervous and having to figure out those things why I'm driving to go deliver to a place. That is not very responsible at all. If I was ignorant, and there's a lot of ignorant people out there, if I was ignorant and I didn't care, could I go ahead and do that? I suppose so. I don't think, if I did that, knowing that I should be responsible and I should have, a refresher course. If something should happen by then, I will blame myself for the rest of my life. And I want you guys to understand something. I'm not worried about myself being hurt in the slightest. When you're in a truck like that, the only way that the driver is going to hurt himself is if you roll over. And you have, in my experience, and in my opinion, it's very easy to avoid rolling over. Normally, a rollover is taking curve way too fast and then being on ice, something along those lines, right? Not paying attention and driving way above your abilities. I'm not worried about myself hurting myself at all. I'm worried that if I didn't stop soon enough, or if I didn't make that left good enough, or me knowing that I hadn't driven for a year, if something should happen, I have to live the rest of my life knowing that I hurt somebody else. And even if they didn't get hurt, it's going to total their vehicle. I'm going to have to live with that, and I don't want to. Like I said, I didn't even get to meet my grandfather because of somebody's stupid actions. I consider me doing something like that a stupid action. So do I think I'm my own worst enemy in that regards? Absolutely not. I really do feel every time that I do something right, it ends up costing me. And I'm okay with that, I guess. I mean, I have to be, because I would rather, there were so many times where I was told to take trailers that were had major air leaks. I've been inspected 5 times with DOT and passed all of my inspections. I have nothing against my license whatsoever. I have never been ticketed, no DUIs. I have never had anything. I have never, I am straight and narrow. I have, my MVR, my motor vehicle records. I think there's also one for, truck driving, the truck driving points that you get. I've always been on top of all that stuff and never had any incidents, and I'm very proud of that. You know what I mean? It's something that I want to take forever. And the way that my brain and the rules and the structures that I have set for myself is that my first 2 rules of truck driving, right? Rule number 1, always be safe. Rule number 2, don't ever break rule 1. Okay? So, and how do I do that exactly? By taking every single trip extremely serious. That truck does not do anything without my permission. Everything is persively, and that truck doesn't do anything that I don't tell it to do. You know what I'm saying? I am that surgical with that truck, and that's how serious I take it. That's how serious my trainers took it. The person who I actually did the licensing dude who had to grade me on everything, and when I was doing my licensing test, that's how serious he took it. And those are things that I would have, whether they had those qualities or not, that's how I am. You know what I mean? So in that regard, am I my own worst enemy? No. If that's what that was, according to. If it's not, then drop a comment and tell me what you think. And I am very open to stuff and debating. I do take a lot of advice that I get on YouTube, and a lot of it is really good. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I can't take criticism. I can take criticism very well. I just thought this got me thinking, and I thought it would be good content and for me to make a video on this. I think that a lot of people would enjoy my perspective. I think a lot of people would actually understand where I'm coming from with that. I think that there's a lot of stuff that I do that I end up learning the hard way as well. Sometimes I have to see something all the way through. Maybe I'm just very hopeful. Maybe I'm very hopeful that something good is going to happen. Like, hey, I don't think that this is good. The only way that this is going to fail is if I stop trying. So I don't want to stop trying. You know what I mean? And I know that I have to adapt. I'm not going to continue doing the same thing over and over again and getting and hoping for a different result. That means that if you always get the same result doing the same thing, that's basically insanity, right? Or that's an insane thing. if I do something and I see it doesn't work, okay, why didn't it work? What can I do differently to make it work? How can I approach this better and things like that? I do believe me being hard-headed and stuff like that, it does come off a little bit like, man, Alien, man, he's, maybe he's, his own worst enemy. And what I break that down to, and what really got my my wheels turning in my head is I'm trying to think how I can say it. I love myself very much, right? In 99.9% of everything that goes on with me, I have not even 99. I make my own decisions. I've always made my own decisions. There are people in my life that love me and stuff like that, but they don't dictate things to me. Or I'm trying to. I think I'm talking a little too cryptic here. Bear with me, guys. What's the best way to put it? I feel as though I have always been alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, almost always been alone. Even though I got friends and family and people that love me very much and stuff, the way that I grew up, and if you wanted more context to it, I do have a video on here called my traumatic childhood. Definitely take a look at that. I think a lot of the stuff that happened then has of course has shaped me into the person that I am now. When nobody was there to help me in a lot of situations, I had to develop what I could do about it, right? So I'm very protective over myself. There's a reason why I don't let people get too close to me. And what I mean by that is if there's a stranger, especially when I stay in the hood, I'm homeless and I live in my car, I don't let them get within 3 feet of me. And I have no problem telling them that. I have no problem telling people when they're talking to me to look me into the look in my eyes when you talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Or when I'm talking, look at me. If you are on your phone and people say I'm weird about this, it's a respect thing. It's manners. I don't like when if we were at a 5-star dinner and you burp really loud like you're inside your house and stuff, I don't think that's okay. You know what I'm saying? And the person's like, well, I just had a burp. Well, that's fine. That's fine and dandy. I'm not here to change how you are as a person, but don't ever expect for me to ever eat dinner with you ever again, especially in public doing something like that. Be respectful, have manners, show respect. If you're playing on your phone and you're answering a bunch of stuff and I have a question for you, I'm going to ask you, like, let's say, for example, I was going to ask somebody, hey, what was yesterday's temperature, or what was the score on the 49er game? Even though I watched it, that was a great game for Super Bowl. But if I do that, I'm going to say, hey, when you have a second, can I ask you something? And they go, oh, I'm just on my phone. No, I want to talk to you when you're not doing something else, Getting sidetracked here. That's funny. Nonetheless, so do I ever really feel like I'm my own worst enemy? If I was to ask my mother, if I was asked to ask my family members, if I was to ask everybody else, they would say that no, I'm not my own worst enemy. I actually did ask a couple of people today. I text messaged them. I was like, hey, do you ever think that I'm my own worst enemy? And what they said is you can be very hard-headed on seeing things through. But it's really easy for somebody to be like that. Like, let's say, for example, I saw somebody doing something and I have the outside, it's hard for me to judge stuff myself, but from the outside looking in and then from the inside looking out, you know what I'm saying? I really feel as though and that's why one of the things I share so much on YouTube, man, is I've shared my journey, I've shared my experiences. I still have a lot of other stories to talk about. I want everybody to watch everything, and I watch my videos too. I don't just record them. I watch them and I go, oh man, I remember when I did that. And it's not like I've been on YouTube for I've been on YouTube for a very long time. However, it's only recently have I been last few months posting content. So that's basically some of the stuff that I actually really think. I think that am I my own worst enemy? No. I think I'm very hopeful. I think that I try to see things through. I don't like giving up. I know that giving up, means that you're never going to have a chance to succeed if you don't get back up and try again. I do think that I get into a thing called analysis paralysis, where every little thing that I do, especially living in my car, really, I don't want to make any mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I want things to flow a certain way. I want it to make sense. And unfortunately, life, you could write down, hey, do this, and this on a piece of paper, and it all sound good, but when you go and do it, it don't work out. Sometimes the things that I thought would never work out did work out. You know what I'm saying? And the truth is I don't have to be 100% right all the time. I just need to be 90%. You know what I mean? Like, if I got a 90% feeling, knowing that you know, it's not a good idea to walk to this bathroom at 2 o'clock in the morning, that there's a chance that I'm going to get in a fight, or I'm going to get stabbed, or a big old incident's going to happen. I don't need to be 100% correct on that. I know that by doing that, I'm not going to put myself in harm's way. You know what I mean? To the best of my abilities. But then somebody could go ahead and say, you know what, you're being hard. You know, you are your own worst enemy. Why don't you stay somewhere safe? And my rebuttal to that would be, there's nowhere safe. Even in the nicest and the most richest areas and stuff, in poor communities, and I've lived in the hood my whole freaking life. You know, when people are having a hard time, you know, getting things in that area, they go out to those rich areas. You know, like, you know, there's a lot of crime happens out there, and it's because you don't crap in your own backyard, or people crap in the backyard so much that there's nothing to go get. So then go somewhere else. So as far as I'm concerned, there is no place safe. You know what I mean? Did have a quick order, but I wanted to jump into this video. I was thinking about closing it down, but at the 20-minute mark, but you know what? There's a lot more that I want to talk about it. So being your worst enemy, right? You know, I gotta tell you who I think my worst enemy was the person who actually my mom married, who was my biological father. I do have that video, traumatic childhood. I think I mentioned that you know, earlier in this video. The things that he did to me that growing up, that was absolutely horrendous. I encourage you to watch that video. I'm not going to repeat a lot of stuff. In fact, that video doesn't get pushed very much because I think it was too graphic in it, right? That is somebody who was my own worst enemy. You know, let's say, for example, somebody smoked cigarettes, right? You know, and they got you know, from them doing that, they got throat cancer. Okay, so let's say that happened, right? Now, if somebody walked by and said, "I'm going to give you throat cancer," you'd be like, "No, you're not. No, you're not," and you'd fight that person, right? But yet, your choice, the consequences of what you did. Now, you know, it was your choice, I guess, technically, you know, for you to get addicted and do that kind of stuff, or it was, you know, the consequence. It all depends on how you want to look at it, right? Nonetheless, you wouldn't let somebody go and give you something like that, but you'd be willing to endure it yourself. The same thing that goes on with addicts as well, right? Instead of them eating when they were supposed to, and they're starving and they're emaciated, the little bit of money that they might have to go eat, they would go spend it on their habit. Now, does that make that person their own worst enemy? I can't call it. I'm not sure. I know that I've firsthand seen what happens to people when they have you know, addictions like that and things, and that monkey on their back, so to speak, is one hell of a demon for them to overcome. Do I think that at that point they're their own worst enemy? No, but I think that some of the choices they've made has made life a lot harder for themselves. So if somebody was to say, yo, Alien, you know, you're making life a little bit harder on yourself by doing what's right, then I would totally agree. Saying that I'm my own worst enemy, no, I disagree. And if you believe so, it's totally okay. There's open lines of communication here. You can put down why you think so, and you might be able to change my mind. You know, this isn't a dictatorship over here. I love engaging with you guys. One of the greatest things that ever happened with YouTube is the support system that I now have. Everybody who comments, everybody who subscribes, everybody that rocks and watches my videos and has things to say, I'm involved in that community, right? You guys are all my friends. If you don't have any friends, you got a friend in me, man. Alien Army, raise up. You know what I'm saying? Get me all hyped up on that. But that's the God honest truth. And I don't care if it sounds corny. I know that I am very authentic, and I have a very big heart, and I shoot from the heart. Nothing that I do is like scripted or anything like that. I have a general idea. I know some things to not say and some things to say. And well, I know things not to say when I'm on YouTube, you know, because of it's their platform and stuff like that, and you know, whatnot, right? However, I find I try to do my best abilities to work around that little system and still be able to present you information and content that hopefully you learn from or you find interesting. You know what I'm saying? And more important than that, this is documenting my journey, and I've made a lot of friends on here. You guys are all my friends. You guys all rock with me. I rock with you the way you rock with me, and we're Alien Army. You know what I mean? Alien Army, without stuttering or slurring or any of that good stuff. Now, don't really slur, but it does sometimes feel like when I'm recording myself, I do bite my cheeks a little bit when I'm talking, and I don't mean to. It's you know, you try putting a camera in front of you. You know what I mean? I'm normally a shy person, but You know, I have no problem opening up. In fact, most people don't even know that I'm shy. I guess I'm really good at talking, at least as far as what you guys have said. So I think that's the bigger thing is that maybe people make their lives a lot harder than what it should be. And could I agree that I've done that to myself by doing the right thing? Absolutely. I believe that me not being ignorant and me being responsible and me being a quote unquote steward towards things. You know, there's a lot of people out there that abuse their driver's license. There's a lot of people that abuse their Class A license. They, you know, maybe they have priorities right and I'm the one who has it wrong, but I got to tell you, I don't see it that way, and I do have to live with myself. You know, knowing that I make the right decisions is extremely important. Why is it so important to me? I want peace while I'm on this planet, and I want peace in the afterlife, and my heart tells me what is right and wrong. My heart tells me that it's wrong to go inside a store and start stealing. You know what I'm saying? If I went there right now, I would feel horrible if I went in and started stealing. You know what I'm saying? My heart tells me that jumping in a truck when I don't believe that I'm ready because I haven't driven in over a year, even though I can pass the road test with flying colors, and I think that I was a little hyped up in the beginning of this video. It's just the way I am, just the way I am sometimes. You know, it's my personality and things like that, and I'm out here working as well, and you know, excited, and I'm happy that I'm sticking to you know, like I did a video yesterday and now I'm doing one now, so very happy and very excited about that. But I think that's the probably better way, and I don't think that I'm the only person that does it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I do that to find closure. I think it's pretty safe to say that everybody at some point has made their life harder than what it needed to be. And maybe those are the life lessons by them doing that is exactly what they needed to be. You know, like when I think what is, you know, like if somebody said, you know, what is the, you know, the point of you know, like what is the point of life? You know, I know that Tony Robbins says that he can say it in one word, and that's progress. And sometimes in my life, and I know that everybody else does this too, and it's not like I'm doing this because everybody else is. I think everybody can relate because we're all human, or we're all aliens, you know what I'm saying? We're all on this planet here together, okay? There's only one race, and that's the alien race and the human race and everything else. I believe that everybody has made it in one way or another harder for themselves in certain stuff. You know, I feel as though I do get analysis paralysis. I have to look so carefully because I have lost so much. A lot of times I've taken 2-3 steps backwards just to take a couple steps forward. And life is like that, you know what I'm saying? And I know that you guys can relate. Nobody here is, you know, born special. We all put our pants on the same way. We all eat, shit, and sleep. You know what I'm saying? We're all cut from the same kind of fabric. We're all humans. You know what I mean? We all have emotions. We all have feelings. You know. And I think everybody can relate to that. I mean, if you were somebody who couldn't relate to that, I would be like, well, you don't want to admit it. You know what I mean? Admitting stuff and being truthful and things like that will help you progress. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things why we're here is progressing as people. And I don't when I don't like something, I don't just go say, oh, that's that person's problem, or it's like that. I think of solutions. You know, there's, you know, I want everything to be really, really good. You know, I want to leave this place better than I came into it. And I would gotta be honest, I think that's pretty easy to do. So I should have a higher set of goals and higher set of dreams. And my higher set of goals and dreams is I do want to stop, to the best of my ability, actually stop homelessness. And the best way to do that, and I talk about this in my videos, is for it to never start to begin with, right? You know, talking about comments, yesterday I got one saying that, you know what, it is my choice to be homeless. And then somebody put a comment underneath there that person chooses to be overweight, and they didn't use the word overweight. You know what I'm saying? And I thought, you know, I'm mad enough to say that. I'm mad enough and I'm mature enough to say that made me laugh, and I put that as a comment. That shit did have me laugh, because what if I walked up to you and I said, you know what, and this is about yesterday's video. If I walk up to you and say, the only reason you're not a millionaire is because it's your choice. You know, like, it's not that black and white. You know what I'm saying? And nobody works in that system. There's a sliding scale. You got, you know, the lowest of the low here, then the highest of the high here, like on a grading scale type of thing. You know, if somebody walks up to him and says the only reason why you're not married is because it's your choice. No, I mean, You know what I'm saying? It's consequences. Maybe something happened to her earlier in her life, and she could never ever be around a man in that kind of way. Does that, okay, it's her choice, but her choice kind of got taken away, and it's more of a consequence, and it could be a consequence of what somebody did to that person. And that was the message. Now that's a whole lot to digest and stuff like that, but that is a complex thing, you know what I'm saying? And putting thought into stuff and analyzing it for what it really is, or another way to interpret the same message for you to break down and digest it, that's really what I'm going for, and that's the way I think. You know what I mean? And just because I think this way doesn't mean that you should. We're allowed to have different opinions. We have freedom of speech, yeah, for the most part. I mean, it all depends on what platform you're on and things like that. But you basically get what I'm saying. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's literally I'd mark it down as maybe there's times in my life that I've made things harder than it had to be, but I have done them for the right reasons for myself, and I believe everybody can relate to that in one instance or another. I want to thank you all for rocking with me. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button. I do have Cash App. It's the same as my YouTube name. If you want to show love or bless me, same as my YouTube name, AlienAscend. I'll put it in the description. And I want to thank everybody for rocking with me. And let's continue the Alien Army. Thank you so much.